These are going to be our notes, the starting few slides on our second unit, which is on classification. I have provided for you guided notes. Please remember that these are the very, very basics that I want you to take away from this. If I give something in further information, or if I show a picture or another description, please make sure you add it to your notes. Or remember, you are always welcome to take your own notes on a different piece of paper. But without further ado, let's get started. Here we go. So, classification has what they consider to be a founding father. His name is Carl Linnaeus, and as you can see, he lived from 1707 to 1778. And he was a Swedish botanist who was really interested in observing and trying to figuring out a way that there was so many different species of life that he was observing, that he was trying to figure out a way to organize it, as well as try to come up with a system that, regardless of where you were in the world, if I was a scientist in Sweden, say for example, and I was speaking to a German scientist, even though we might be speaking different languages altogether, that we could understand what species we were discussing. So he is the one who has invented this modern system back in the mid 1700s called binomial nomenclature, and we'll get into what those words really mean. But he is the one who is considered to be the person that discovered this naming system that helps to keep it universal for all scientists. So, what is classification? He invented it, but what is it? It's when scientists put organisms into groups based upon their similarities. So, one thing that I want us to take away from this is that I'm talking about their physical similarities. So, please make sure that you keep that in mind when we're looking at organizing and classifying things on our end. We are going to be focusing on physical characteristics. So scientists classify, it actually helps them answer the following three questions. The first question is, what are the relationships and differences between different species? So that you can look at, well, if I have a bunch of different types of bears, for example, they're all similar because they're mammals, and a lot of the time they spend walking on their four legs. Those are all their similarities, but their differences might be their habitat, or how they hunt, or when they hibernate, all of those things. The second question they're trying to answer is, what are the characteristics that the organisms in each group share? So once again, it's focusing more on those physical characteristics, not even just aside from color, but maybe also limb length and shape and tail length and ear size and all of that. And the third question they're trying to answer is, how many different species of organisms exist? When Linnaeus first started off with this, there were just a few hundred species, and now we know that there's thousands and thousands of species that can be organized due to this thing we call classification. So this is where our notes are going to end for today, if just for the first portion of these notes. So once again, you can always rewind this video, go back and listen to it, pause it whenever you need to, so that you can have thorough notes.